What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Blank Online, and here today we're gonna chat about Activision being down bad. This is a new style of video that I'm trying out, and I hope you guys do enjoy it. I've been thinking of ways to sort of level up the content here on this channel, and this is one of the ways sort of moving forward that we're going to be doing so. So let's talk about Activision being down bad right now. Now, we all know about the sales numbers. Now, if you watched my video before where we talked about sales figures and that sort of stuff for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, we know that Black Ops Cold War is not performing as well as, say, Modern Warfare did last year. Now, Black Ops Cold War is having multiple sales, trials, zombies trials, multiplayer trials, all these sort of things in order to boost sales for the game. Now, one step forward into Activision being a little bit more desperate is the news that in-game stat tracking is now being privatized, with users now having to opt in order for their data to be revealed. Let's have a look at a website called SBMM Warzone. Okay, this right here is SBMM Warzone. Now, what SBMM Warzone is, if you guys don't know what it is, basically is a website that tracks user stats. It shows you what type of games you're playing in terms of the difficulty level and the SBMM level, and it shows you your past 5 games, your KD ratio, the players you're coming up against, and all these sort of things here. Now, before this change, SBMM Warzone showed every single player stats no matter what privacy level they're on. So they didn't have to make it public, they didn't have to make it private, it was just used basically anyone. So basically what this did was it showed us exactly what lobbies people are going up against, what lobbies you're going into, and it also exposed some people in terms of what lobbies they're coming up into. So players who are like, I had a 113 world record kill game, they're in bronze lobbies, and they were doing it in bronze lobbies because they used skill-based matchmaking in order to get into those bronze lobbies using methods such as the one I explained in one of my previous videos, where you log in and play up and party in with a fresh account with no rating, no nothing in Call of Duty, and then you make that player leave the game, leaving only you in that so-called bot lobby. Now, let's have a look at SBM Warzone for myself. Personally, for me, I have not set my thing to public because I just haven't been bothered to do so, and this is exactly what you see here. And say, for example, one of your favorite streamers, someone who's super cracked and all that sort of stuff, has this on private, there's probably something sort of hidden there, a reason why they're private. Now, I haven't played Warzone for about, I'd say maybe 3 weeks at this point, because the DMR just got a little bit too stupid for me, and then we had the infinite Steam glitch and all that sort of stuff, so I just stopped playing. So I haven't played a Warzone game for quite some time, and if I were to have played a Warzone game, you would have seen something a little bit like this. Now, this is Vicstar123. Now, we all know Vicstar, one of the top Warzone players at the moment. This is his SBMM Warzone profile. Now, we can see that his KD ratio is 3.57. He's won 500 games, 21,000 kills. And if we can look at his distribution, 13 games at Diamond, 5 games at Gold, and 2 games at Silver. No bronze games for this man. Now, this is clearly seeing and clearly stating that Vicstar is one of the top players in Warzone, and he's a top player for a reason. He's not going up against bot lobbies, he's not going up against any bronzes, a couple silvers here and there, but that's probably because he's come up and partied with players who are of a lower skill level. But majority of his games here we can see are in the diamond. Now, this is a reason, and this is why Warzone is so down bad, and why Activision is down bad as well. They're sort of protecting these little sort of nooks and crannies in the community from being seen as bad players, or protecting these sort of Call of Duty partners from getting exposed because they're coming up in bot lobbies and getting these crazy gameplays and all this sort of stuff. Now, the reason Activision would do this, and I think a lot of people are getting confused as to why exactly they would do this, they're not getting rid of SBMM Warzone. So SBM Warzone is still there and you can still use it. It's just a little less accessible to see everybody's rank, because you have to go in and manually change your settings in order to allow this to happen. The reason that they're doing this is, one, to protect some players. 2 is to not admit that skill-based matchmaking is a thing. As I said, it doesn't completely eliminate SBMM Warzone, so you can definitely still see that this method of matchmaking is genuinely a thing here in the game, it's also one step further in Activision having to admit it, because this was damning evidence that SBMM does exist here in Warzone. Although we already knew that, this is clear-cut evidence that it does exist due to the distributions in games and sort of like your diamond games, gold, and all that sort of stuff. So it's very, very clear to see that this system is here in place, and for Activision to go one step into trying to cover up the fact that this system is in place is exactly why they're sort of trying to hide away from the fact that this implementation of matchmaking is a thing. And honestly, like, this website as a whole is a really, really good tool, and it's a really, really good tool to use and to expose some people who are using SBMM to their advantage. Again, if we look at a player such as TP, very similar to Vicstar, 5.15 KD, 1,500 wins, and if you look at his game distribution, very, very scarce. Now, most of his games have been at diamond, some games in gold 1, gold 2. We have 2 games in silver and 2 games in bronze. When he was in that bronze lobby, no kills. So no kills, rank 51. Maybe trying to get into a lower skill based lobby. You look at the game he played completely after that, it was a silver 1 game, 21 kills, and he won that game. Now this is well, I mean, like, you can't really sort of out him out for any sort of like, oh, you're trying to reverse boost and that sort of stuff. As I said, reverse boosting is there, and if you want to use it, just use it, because if everyone can sort of have fun in the game, why stop people from having fun in Call of Duty if there's a method to go ahead and do so? As I've said in my previous videos, personally for me, I wouldn't do that, but in saying that, for the lobbies that I do play up against, I play with players who are of a lower skill level than me, so I'm going to go into games, I'm going into golds, I'm going into silvers, I go into a couple diamonds here and there. So it's not like I purposely reverse boost, but I mean, like, using a method like SBMM Warzone, it's clear to see that obviously you reverse boost in one game, get put into a lower skill game, and then from there, like, it goes up to diamond 3, diamond 1. Like, so obviously TP is obviously a very, very good Warzone player, and there's obviously being bits and pieces in there that sort of, you know, you play a shit game and then you go into a shit game, and then once you have a really, really good game, you go into the crazy lobbies, that sort of stuff. So SBMM Warzone is here. SBMM Warzone is going to be here to stay. It's just a lot harder for you to sort of get into and sort of see people's profiles and see them for what they are. It's going to be interesting to see what people do in terms of this privacy method. Are people going to opt in? Are people going to purposely leave it private in order to hide exactly what they're doing here in Warzone? So Activision has now put one step forward into trying to hide the fact that SBMM exists here in Warzone. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you think of Activision going one step into trying to hide the fact that this matchmaking system is in place? What do you think of users hiding their SBMM rankings and that sort of thing on SBMM Warzone? Are you going to be doing it? What do you think of everything that's going on in the Call of Duty community right now? I'd like to know what you think. So leave a like if you enjoyed this video, comment down below everything and answering all the questions that I just asked, and click subscribe if you're new here so you don't miss out on my next video. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers and we're on the push to get there, so any support would be greatly appreciated. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
Can't you see the bandage on my face? Wanna light the city, that's my place. Don't you touch the money, that's my case. Ride around the city like you know the place. Killing everybody like you know the base. Stealing all the cars, then you go race. Fucking everybody, you don't know the name.